Well, hey Nan, how are you doing today?
I'm okay now. Don't have to worry about having any blood test for a while.
How was that this morning?
It was okay. It hurts.
Did they take enough blood from you?
5 vials.
Ugh, that's almost all the blood that you have in your body.
I know it. I feel anemic right now.
So what are you going to be hungry for today?
I'm going to be hungry. Maybe some warm soup.
Some warm soup?
Yeah.
What kind of soup do you like?
I like veggies. The one Virginia makes.
Virginia always makes good food when she brings it over. She cooks. She brings tacos, tamales to me, and she always makes them a little bit too spicy to where I remember it. So we're here today. I posted on Facebook the other day that we were going to do some Q&A, question and answering. So I opened up the floor for all the fans to submit questions that they may want to ask you. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it before we run into having to pick up Connor. Yes. What do you think about that?
That sounds right.
All right. First question is, first off, I had to type all these up because originally I wrote them down and my handwriting was like hieroglyphics. So I had to type it up so I could legibly read my handwriting typed. So, first question is from Tina Thomas from West Point, Georgia.
Hi, Tina.
I've always wondered, did Pop act off camera like he did on camera? Like when he's fussing to Billy about coming to get his free food? And was he always upset with people getting his free Dr. Peppers?
Yes. He was the same off camera that he was in the front of the camera. And he did not like people stealing his Dr. Pepper. Leave his Dr. Peppers alone.
Has he always been like that about his Dr. Peppers?
Yes. Very possessive.
What about Billy coming over to get Billy would come over with the empty bowls of food. Would people want to know, was Pop being serious or was he just joking around with Billy most of the time?
I think he was joking around. He just see Billy, oh no, look at all those plates. And the same with you, when you bring all those empty plates.
Yeah, but he never complained when I got free food.
Well, I guess because you're the grandson.
I was the chosen grandson. Well, I was the only grandson.
The only grandson.
And I always brought the bowls back quicker than Billy. Billy would bring them back at the same time. And usually that's on a Sunday when the Cowboys were getting beat. So Pop was upset with that too.
Yes.
Did people want to know, did Pop ever buy his Dr. Peppers? Or was it Billy bringing them? Or was it me buying them?
He never bought any Dr. Peppers. He just munched of other people. Every time people came to see him, to take pictures with him, they brought him a Dr. Pepper. That's the payment.
But he was possessive over that. That was if there was one thing that he owned, it was those Dr. Peppers.
Yes.
What was there a drink that Pop liked before Dr. Peppers? Was there a soft drink, or was it always Dr. Peppers?
I think it's always been Dr. Pepper.
That's a good one. Next question is from Cindy Jones, Little River, South Carolina. How do you keep a wonderful outlook on life, and how do you keep on smiling with life after Pop?
Well, I have other survivors, and I have to keep myself. I'm fighting to keep myself upbeat so I don't go into a depression. I think if I were to go into a depression, it'd be hard to come off the depression, and that's not my personality. I always been a cheerful person. So I pray that I continue to have the upbeat so I can heal faster from the loss of Pop.
How hard is it?
It's hard. It's hard. You're not with someone for 70 years, 70, and not missing when we always been together. Always we're together. So it's a big void, like half of your heart is gone.
Who would it have been harder on? I mean, it's, hindsight, but if you were to have passed before Pop, obviously he passed before you. Do you think it would have been harder on him with your passing first?
Probably.
Because you did everything for him.
I did everything for him. Everything.
He didn't have to do much.
No, I'll always get up and do. I waited on him, hand and food.
So do you consider him lucky?
Yeah, I think he was lucky to have me.
I think
I
he
was
was
cute then.
Let's see. What do we got? Okay, Kathleen Jackson. She didn't put where she was from, but what are your hobbies and what is your secret to having such great hair? So what are some of your hobbies?
My hobby is cooking. I'm always like to cook, and I like to try different kinds of spices, not really spicy, but cooking and taking pictures.
And what about shows?
Huh?
What about shows? Like all the shows that you watch.
Oh, yeah. Well, I like to watch Judge Judy and Make a Deal and Dr. Phil. I like to watch certain shows.
What's that other judge show that you like? Is there another judge?
Judge Matthews.
Judge Mathis. Do you keep up with your soap operas anymore?
No, your daddy does.
Yeah, which is weird.
You watch The Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
He don't go anywhere until he finish watching.
When did he start watching that?
I have no idea. And then he watches those Gunsmoke and all
Ponderosa.
and Randy Griffin.
Did he always like those Western shows when he was little?
No, because he was in school and he was playing sports and he just in his old age. Don't say that, say old age.
Yeah, every time Connor goes over there, I said, "So how was Papa's house?" He was sitting there watching his old Western shows. and apparently he won't turn it off so Connor has to sit there and watch the OK Corral, all the John Wayne and all the Gary Cooper, all those Western shows. I never really watched
Black
those.
And white.
Yeah. And Connor says the oldie shows. And Connor thinks shows that were in the 80s before they had cell phones, and in the 90s were oldies too. So, what's your secret to having great hair?
Inherited. My daddy had a lot. There's no one bald in my family at all. None of all my brothers have plenty of hair, and daddy had plenty of hair, and mama is inherited.
That's good. Next question is from Debbie Long. She didn't put where she was from, but how much of a change was it for you leaving Puerto Rico to come to the United States, especially back in the 1950s?
The culture in Puerto Rico, because the weather is all year round, kind of springtime, and you go outdoors all the time, and you come over here, and because the season, the way it changes, especially winter time, you feel you're in a cave, and that's depressing because you stay in the cave for a long time. When Mama and Daddy came to see us, Mama hated it because it was kind of in the fall, and she said, "I'm in the cave, I got to get out." And we just like to be outdoors, walking around, climbing hills.
In Puerto Rico, there was no air conditioning. Y'all had the louvers on the windows. That's how you brought in the cool air.
Yeah.
During the...
We have window units sometimes, but we didn't need air condition at all because you raise the windows.
Did y'all had window units back when you were little? There was no window units.
No, just a little fan, oscillating fan.
Oscillating fan?
Yeah.
And I bet everybody fought over that.
Yeah, but we had ceiling fans.
Ceiling fan?
Yeah.
Did it ever get, what's the coldest that it ever got in Puerto Rico that you remember?
When it get to 60, we're cold.
We're cold? That's sweater weather?
Yeah.
Mm.
Because the breeze, that makes it cooler. And especially if it's raining.
Growing up, did you ever have to live through many hurricanes? You have to tighten
No,
down, buckle up?
Never did. They say the hurricanes were coming and then the hurricane take a turn. Except the hurricane that hit Puerto Rico, that I was in the United States, Maria.
That was a bad one.
Yeah, that's the only one that hit Puerto Rico. But no, they always went the other way.
Oh, that's good. What, coming from Puerto Rico to the United States, when she asked how much of a change was it, and you said like culturally, like what do you mean by culturally it was different?
Well, the language was used to speaking Spanish all the time, and then I had to speak English all the time, and I was beginning to lose my Spanish when I tried to speak Spanish or sing in Spanish, so I get tongue-tied.
How much English did you know the first time you met Pop? Did you speak any English? How did you pick it up?
In Puerto Rico, they start teaching English in the first grade, because since we are part of the United States, we have to learn. That's English is one of the languages that you must learn. So the way they did it, they put the word like elephant, and they put the picture of an elephant, the picture, and then they show the word elephant, or a picture of a baby, and then they say baby.
How do you say elephant in Spanish?
Elefante.
Huh. How do you say baby in Spanish?
Bebé, niño, niña.
Am I your niño, or is Connor your niño now?
Both of you are. The three of you are. Billy too.
I'm trying to sit here and think. In Puerto Rico, I guess when you were learning English, was there that many people that spoke English, like outside of the school, like the military base that you worked at? Was there a lot of English speaking?
Yeah, soldiers.
Soldiers?
Yeah, there were a lot of soldiers,
But-
American soldiers.
but not a lot of-
We tried to practice the English with them.
Was the language barrier between you and Pop at the beginning, was it difficult?
Not really. I understood everything he said.
And what did he say?
I love you. He learned that in Spanish.
He learned, that was the first.
Te amo. Te amo.
That was the first thing he learned,
Yeah.
and it worked with you. Or
Yeah.
how long did it take? How long did it take to work with you?
Well, we met. My girlfriend introduced us, and I never had a date with your daddy by myself, just him and I, because my girlfriend was always there with us, Gina, because she thought I was too young. I was 18, and I needed a chaperone. So in the third night, we met 3 nights in a row, and he said, I'm going to take you to Texas. Boy, did it scare me. Ooh, I thought he was going to kidnap and take me to Texas. And I said, no, I'm not going anywhere with you. And that was a way to say, will you marry me? He didn't know how to say that. So he said, no. So 3 days, had to wait 2 weeks for the paperwork, because he was a soldier, an Air Force guy, and I was civilian. But it didn't take that long, about 2 weeks, and we went before the Justice of the Peace and got married, because he was due to return to the United States in about a month. So we hurried up and got married. And
That-
we fell in love later.
So you're so you're saying that was the best decision Pop ever made?
Yes, the best decision he ever made. And I came back to the United States with him in a cargo plane. It was a cargo plane. I was the only woman there.
So Pop was telling you to just keep your eyes focused on him.
Yes, there were a lot of soldiers, and I looked around, and he kept pinching me. Quit looking to people. Quit looking at the people. It's not people, there were other soldiers, and he kept pinching me. And by the time I got to Alabama, where we landed the first time, my left arm was bruised up. He was so jealous. He didn't want me, and he didn't want me to wear makeup either. It took a few years for me to start gradually putting on makeup. And in Puerto Rico, when I was in Puerto Rico, I wore makeup and all of that, but he didn't want me wearing makeup.